detective thrill me.
Thanks for joining us. Just got out of a viewing of Superman in the IMAX, also in 3D. So we thought we'd chuck together a quick initial reaction on it. Jared, this was your second viewing of Superman. Let's just dive straight into it. Quick sort of coverage. What was your take early? How do you feel? Give us a number.
A number?
Yeah, give us a number.
I'm at 4.
You're at 4?
Yes. It's definitely got a couple of slight issues, like the story's a little bit meandering. There's a few of the villains where I was just kind of like here nor there. And I can see, some people are a little concerned about Superman sort of getting thrown around a little bit more than you would expect in a Superman movie and that sort of thing. But all in all, I thought most of that stuff, the last point there, I don't have as much of an issue with, and we'll talk about why later on. But I think the tone of it was bang on. I think it's as close as we've got to the Reeve tone in a little while, but it's got a large helping of, as I kind of mentioned to you, it's got a large helping to me of the stuff from the comics, but like the vibe of the DC animated stuff that I've really enjoyed over the years. So I think we're on the right track. I know we had a few concerns about some of the additions, but for the most part, the characters in there are really cool and they play really well. So yeah, I just feel the tone of the characters was right. The heart or the kind of vibe of the characters that I was looking for was bang on. And I loved some of the kind of relationships, say like Clark and Lois and the the vibe of the kind of office in the Daily Planet and that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm at a 4.
Yeah, I'm at a 3.5. I really enjoyed it. I think that there's a bit of room to improve story-wise, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of things there that I thought didn't quite touch the mark. But overall, a really solid piece of work. Plenty of humour to go round. I thought the ideas were interesting. I thought the acting was excellent. And overall, like 3.5. I think there's a bit of juice here. If they can do something good with a sequel, even, I'd see us sort of again on steady ground as well.
Yep.
Well, let's just go quickly through some likes and some dislikes. As I said, I think the acting is excellent. I think we get a really good Superman, as close as to Christopher Reeve as I think we've had in a long time. And that's no disrespect to Henry Cavill and others that may have played the role.
Yeah.
It's about the material.
More to do with the tone of the material. And
yeah. I mean, Cavill gets kind of hamstrung because he got stuck in what I believe is some of the lesser stuff.
And I don't think, not to go too deep into the Snyder stuff, but I don't think I'm on board with what some of Zack Snyder wanted to do, but there just wasn't enough of the fucking hopeful tone to Superman and what he's kind of been built on for
That's right.
all these years.
Whereas this struck very much more in that direction.
Very much.
And I thought David Corenswet was really good, actually. We didn't get a lot of Clark, but I think what we did get showed that he had that kind of like little bit of an idiot, klutzy kind of like Reeve had done.
Yes.
Which played out nicely. But, I mean, Rachel Brosnahan was excellent.
Yeah.
I think probably the best
I think she's
Lois we've had.
I think she's my favourite Lois that we've had.
But she also had something to do.
Well, that's right. She's kind of halfway, well, not halfway. She's kind of a mix of that kind of ball-busting sort of hard-nosed reporter that she has to be to get shit done in the midst of, the DC universe.
Yeah. But then she actually was involved too in the finishing, like
she's a big part of it.
Yeah.
But she also it plays into the relationship between her and Clark because, it's still in the early stages and whatever. And I thought that stuff was all really cool.
Yeah. But actors go all the way down the board. I mean, even smaller roles. You had even the actors. I don't know the actual names of even the young lass who played Eve Tessmacher.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good performance. Perry White, Jimmy Olsen. Yeah, cool. These characters were all filled with really good actors.
Yeah.
So that was really helpful.
Yep.
And just added that extra sort of touch of quality. Across it.
Yeah. Definitely. And I think it just felt like, especially like the Daily Planet stuff. You might have small nitpicks, but to me, every time somebody came on screen, I just kind of just got this feeling of this. It just feels right.
Yes.
The Daily Planet feels right. That's how
Yeah.
I expect it to feel when you're putting together a DC Superman flick from the get-go.
Well, it's a good way to build it.
Yeah.
Good way to build it. The additional characters, Jared, I think for the most part, they all worked.
Yeah.
They took a little bit of the heavy lifting off Superman,
Yes.
which has always been an issue in these Superman movies, is you're trying to find something for Superman to continually do throughout the picture.
It's going to be like a serious sort of
Yeah.
challenge. Or
Yeah. And usually that's where things go wrong.
Yes.
Because
they can.
there's just no challenges that he can face.
Yeah.
Whereas this, I didn't think sidelined him, but took time with other characters
Yes.
and weave them into the world.
But it also made sense because there's points where he kind of infuses them with his hopeful fucking nature.
Yes.
And I mean, if you're going to have a break from Superman, there's a few better people to spend time with than Nathan Fillion carried on like a buffoon.
Actually carrying on like an idiot.
But Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific was a real win.
That was a fantastic choice. Really great casting, but a kind of cool and interesting character.
Yeah.
And I think it was kind of, initially I was a bit skeptical.
Yeah.
But then when we stepped away with them and it was him and Lois kind of doing the work looking for Superman, I thought that stuff was really cool.
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
Even the dog, who I had grave concerns about.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this doesn't seem like it fits.
Yes.
I knew it was from the comics, but I was kind of like, this feels like it's, trying to pull the children in. But the dog was just in a couple of major moments, and that was it.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a big player.
I think there might be something to that. There might be something to why they decided to include him. Although I know, James Gunn seems very in tune with the comics, and Crypto's at the point where it's like part of the furniture now. So it's kind of like, there's probably different reasons I can think of why he might have wanted to include it. But yeah, even me, like, with a bit of a willingness and a want to see some of that stuff included, I had some concerns about Crypto, but I mean, ended up enjoying.
They worked
the role
out.
in it.
Like the thing was, Crypto almost acted like his kind of his buddy, so to speak, and a helpful presence occasionally, but not really hugely involved.
No, not hugely involved, but has, as you said, has involvement in a couple of big parts, and just kind of plays as some of the support network for Clark.
Yes.
That becomes, important as it goes along.
I thought, I'm going to say this is a like, I'm going to say there's a dislike to a little bit of it in a second, but Lex Luthor, Nicholas Hoult, excellent actor.
Spot on.
Yeah, really good solid performance. They went a shade darker.
Yeah.
So it wasn't kind of that Gene Hackman, always had a plan, but it was kind of humorous.
Yeah.
Yet it wasn't.
It wasn't Jesse Eisenberg where it's too grounded in reality. It was still, he was getting involved in fucking pocket universes and cosmic field.
So it was, I felt he ran the gamut well performance-wise. Yeah. And I just like the guy as an actor. I think he's a really good actor.
Yeah, I think he's going to be, like, I think the story meandered a little bit to the point where he kind of went in and out on a few touches. Like, he'd be really important to the story, but then he'd kind of go away for a while other shit was going on. And, but I'm very optimistic about how he could be over a series of movies as Lex Luthor and, getting involved in kind of Justice League stuff, and pretty happy with him. Yeah,
agreed. I think, make sure he's stitched up for a lengthy stint, and I think you've got a really good villain there. The last I'm going to highlight is tone. I felt the tone. I felt the comics. I felt the classic Reeve Superman. Yeah. Like, I felt that.
Yeah.
Even down to like the credits, the opening credits had that, when Superman comes up, had a little bit of that ode to those, the ones where they'd come at you.
Yes.
Like they did in the original couple of movies. So I liked the tone. There was a lighter tone.
Yep.
And I'm sort of glad because I felt Superman got too dark, too deep with the Snyder stuff.
Yeah.
That was, again, you want to go in that direction.
Yeah.
That's fine, but I felt like it was explored and it wasn't necessary to explore it again.
Yeah. And
So
I think
Gunn went the right way.
There's room to ask some of the deeper questions without necessarily digging so deep into them that you lose what we were hoping for. I think that the start of this universe, you had to have this Superman who's, you know, bringing this vibe of everything good.
Yes.
The good in people, the good, you know, like bringing the fucking community together, all this sort of shit. That's kind of where I felt like you have to go if you're going to start with Superman. So I think he brought that, touching on a couple of the questions that don't necessarily, and I think you've kind of mentioned it, they don't kind of go fully into them, but they give them enough sort of space to just ask a few questions about what's your limit here? What line do you have, and where's, you know, should you be just going and doing this shit because you feel like it, you know, or should there be some sort of checks and balances on you?
Yeah.
So we touched on that briefly, which allows for, you know, Frank Grillo to drop in, which was a big like for you.
Good to see you, Frank.
Good to see you, Frank.
Good to see you. Getting what you deserve, mate.
But it doesn't go too far into that.
Mm.
And it sticks to what we were talking about, that light tone and what it's trying to have Superman represent. I guess it makes some of those moments down the stretch possibly feel a little bit kind of trite, but all in all, I still enjoyed it.
Yes, agreed. Okay, dislikes.
Well, I had one more.
One more, yes?
I love that we went back to fucking Ma and Pa Kent as like country bumpkins.
Yeah.
And old.
I just like that whole return to the farm.
Yeah.
To recover.
Again, that felt right.
Yeah.
It feels...
and it felt like the opening of the original Superman.
Yeah.
Where he's there.
Yep.
It felt like we were back there briefly, and I like that.
Yeah, as soon as they kind of got in there and did a couple of scenes, it was like, and it's not a lot, but you just get this vibe of, yeah, this is Smallville. This is what we want it to look like.
And I dug that. I really did.
Not fucking tornadoes with Kevin Costner waving you off.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
I said to you,
I move at the speed of light. I could fucking just scoop you out of there.
No one would see. No one would see.
No trouble whatsoever.
But
clearly Kevin's got a death wish, Jared.
I remember when Kevin Costner was first announced. My excitement was real, Adam, for Kevin Costner as Pa Kent.
Yeah. It was
but after
real.
seeing it, I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad we're back into. It moved in a different direction.
In all seriousness, Costner was one of the best bits of Man of Steel. Of limited.
He could have been really good in that.
He could have,
if they'd let him fucking live.
Yes.
Under those particular circumstances that he didn't.
Yes, but his performance was good in a pretty average film.
Yeah.
Agreed, though. Ma and Pa Kent were just country bumpkins, right? And I love the idea of the whole. I'm soothed by the sound of my parents' voice.
Yeah.
From Krypton, but then things happen. I'm not going to go into them, but you know the fact that we reconnect with real family, which I thought was really cool. That was a good idea. Yeah, a good way to play it.
Yep, definitely.
All right, dislikes. Not going to be a lot here, but Luthor's got a lot of cronies.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of shit going on.
There is.
Black holes
there is
and
points
fucking
where
pocket universes.
It does feel a touch overstuffed.
And shit's going on. I mean, I was confused by this giant lake of shit going on. Fucking hell. I'm just like, what's happening here?
Yeah. That was another one where if they just pulled back a touch with that sort of stuff, there was enough there that you can go into without necessarily getting down into the lake.
Yeah.
And again, it didn't last long because, you know, Mr. Terrific pulls it back with a little bit of work with Crypto. And but yeah, I agree. There's points where it's a little bit overstuffed, and I think that plays into, as I said, the story seems to meander a little bit. Like we get into the Barovia conflict, and then we don't see that for a while, and then we're back there, and then so we go in and out of stuff.
Yeah.
That looks like we could have ditched a little bit of it somewhere.
We could have shaved a touch of stuff.
Yes.
But, yeah, it never quite gets so overwhelming that you're just like, holy shit. Like, I
Yeah.
fucking cannot watch this.
Yep.
So I appreciate the fact they went in and out. And again, other characters coming into play,
Yep.
I think helped to kind of even some of that out.
And I think as you said, there's a few cronies where it makes, like, I didn't enjoy a couple of the villains in particular. Well, they're in it quite a bit, but there's a couple of the villains in particular that I didn't really enjoy, including one where the knowledge of the comics probably leads you towards something that comes in later on. So there's no sort of surprise or elements of shock in there. So yeah, that was definitely on my sort of list as well.
Yeah. And the other two dislikes I had are actually more nostalgia things. Not enough Clark.
Mm.
We probably could have done with another scene or two of Clark. I just wanted to see that kind of klutzy kind of guy, that the Christopher Reeve version.
Yes.
That I think, we always talk about who, like, Reeve is the Superman,
Yep.
is the man,
Yep.
but he's also the best Clark Kent.
Yeah.
And because he's given that kind of Clark's a klutz, he's constantly fucking adjusting his glasses. He seems to not know what he's doing.
Yeah.
We didn't get a lot of that.
No, and I think part of that is because, Gunn makes a decision about where in the kind of timeline of Superman we are, that probably
It cuts that
cuts a
away.
little bit of that away. But yeah, I think there's probably still room for it somewhere.
Yeah. It would have been nice, just maybe a scene or two. I
Yeah.
know it didn't quite fit what they
it
were
fits
going
in the
with.
Daily Planet.
Yeah.
Like that's where you get it. And the brief part we got of him interacting with like Jimmy Olsen and Steve Lombard.
Yeah,
Hey, loser.
Lombard. Why do I not have a seat?
But
That was funny.
yeah, a little more of that would have been
Yeah, it
fine.
would have been interesting.
Yeah.
And the last one is, I wanted to hear the original Superman theme.
Yes.
I
It's
mean,
in there,
even
but
in
it's
the
just-
credits, it's you can hear the touches of it. It's part of the
It's
score.
kind of like the score drops into it for fucking 10
but
seconds.
I
here
know
and
I
there.
want the full-throated fucking,
Yeah.
John Williams one.
Yes.
And I
Because
think-
when you hear it, it sounds good. And you're like, if we could get the whole thing, that would be,
Even if it was just the
That'd be
opening
nice.
credits, Jared,
yeah.
like which would have been exactly how they did it with the original.
Yeah.
But just fucking come in and give me that one time.
Yeah.
And I think I would have been happy.
Yeah.
It just felt like it deserved that.
Yep.
And it didn't have it. And I think
No.
it's probably because we're trying to separate just a little bit. We understand that we're taking some elements from the old ones, but we're also trying to forge a new path, and maybe that's not what they want to do.
Yeah.
But I just think it once would have been fucking awesome.
Yep.
What about, you got anything else?
No, it's pretty much what we just sort of talked about there. I think my biggest one was just the drifting in and out of particular
Yeah.
things and a little more focus on where we were going. It felt almost like we had Lex Luthor running things, which we all know is going to be the case. We all know there's going to be something that Luthor's doing in the background of whatever's going on.
Yeah.
But it feels like we almost tried to overstuff and overcomplicate to serve that kind of need.
Yeah. Just pare that back slightly,
Yeah.
and I think it wouldn't have felt as kind of overstuffed and overcomplex.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think on the whole, it doesn't ruin the experience.
No, not at all. I had a really good time.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
came out with a fucking grin on my face and
Yeah.
feeling
Feeling good about it.
hopeful about humanity for 15 minutes.
At one point, I even said, David Zaslav's the best fucking
The best head of Warner Brothers
head of
we've ever
Warner
had.
Brothers has ever been.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I saw a poster for Alto Nights, and I said, "Oh, no, that's fucking
shit.
clearly not true."
So where to from here? Like I watched so I've watched the Peacemaker TV series, which was almost like a soft launch because it had links to the previous stuff as well. But obviously, we got a bit of little bit of connection there, and then we went to Creature Commandos, which is the cartoon, which is essentially like connected to James Gunn's Suicide Squad, sorry, and then that led into this.
Well, obviously, we're going to have Supergirl,
We're gonna have Supergirl. We're gonna have Lanterns.
I just want to know. Look, I'm not never usually as concerned about some of the other stuff, the peripheral stuff. It's a bit like Marvel. I like to sit down and get something packaged in a film. My biggest thinking is, okay, where's the sequel going to go?
Yeah,
where are they going to
definitely.
take the sequel?
Yep.
And there was enough there that says the sequel will have room and have some ground to cover.
I'll tell you one side project you're going to have to watch, though. Lanterns.
Yeah,
Now
well,
that-
Nathan
now that you've
Fillion.
seen Nathan Fillion.
Fillion in fucking fine form.
And then
I better check that out.
And then we hear, the casting of the other two main Green Lanterns sounds pretty fucking good too.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I've
really
actually-
fucking happy with that.
I got high hopes for that one. But yeah, Supergirl obviously is probably the one that's going to be.
Well, I'm going to assume Corin Sweat's probably going to turn up in that.
Yes, you would
somewhere.
have to. Yep.
And, Supergirl was one of those ones that didn't make waves when it was released in the 80s.
Mm.
Didn't get anywhere. I believe the TV show was quite popular. Is that right? Did about 7 seasons or something.
I think it was a bit shorter.
Okay,
But I'm pretty sure it got like 5 seasons.
5 seasons. It was pretty well regarded.
Yep.
I never saw any of it. And I thought the actress who played her in that was really good.
Yep.
But I don't know the actress who's playing her in the new.
It's Millie
version.
Alcock. She's from Game of Thrones. She's actually Australian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But she said, I like the kind of way she was introduced as kind of like a partier who was just fucking rocking back to get the dog.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool. So interesting way to bring her in. But yeah, look, I think there's a lot of angles to go here and plenty of probably enough ground to dig into some fresh stuff. And I hope that's
hopefully
what they do.
it's just going to give you the opportunity to dip in and out where you want to. Like if you just want to watch the movies, you won't have to have too much background knowledge and whatever.
Yeah, and I'd like to. I'm hoping that's what they do.
Yeah. Because Lanterns, I'm obviously excited about. Not to give anything away, but I'm assuming from where things go that we're going to have some Amanda Waller, possibly going in league with Lex Luthor at some point, which would be interesting. So yeah, they're kind of putting some parts in play. I'm also after seeing this, I'd be really keen to see what they would do with a Batman.
Yes.
Because it's very different. You're not going to go that same light tone. I mean, you risk coming out with a Batman and Robin if you start.
I don't think we can quite
mixing
get there.
light
Jesus
tone
Christ.
with that.
That's not a light
Pretty
tone.
hardy back.
That's a fucking very light tone.
So
But yeah, I think there's a lot. There's a
excited.
lot of. There's some. I'd say there's some excitement in the air for Superman.
I'm definitely extremely optimistic coming out of it, and I think it's a good start to the reset.
Yeah, agreed.
It's more what I would like. So yeah,
Agreed.
happy enough with that.
All right, that's our initial reactions on Superman. Keep an eye on the Facebook page to see what we cover next. But until then, everybody, take it easy, and we'll catch you all later. Cheers. Find the podcast at Podomatic or on iTunes. Don't forget to rate and review. Like us on Facebook at Thrill Me Podcast Australia or contact us at thrillme, all one word, all lowercase, at iinet.net.au.